you have to admit that the Nazis with their rocket program were pretty impressive.
Well,
You know.
no, but I mean, but think about. I mean, okay, like I'd agree. The Wright brothers flew before the war,
Right.
but so okay, fair enough.
But the
And
Monitor and the Merrimack were made during the Civil War, and that's one of the first times that inventions were really stimulated by the war.
Well, sure, but I mean, but like, okay, they didn't invent the aeroplane was around and was starting to be developed before the war.
Mm-hmm.
But the planes they had at the start of World War One compared to the planes they had at the
Biplanes.
start of, but compared
They
to
went-
where technology was at the end of air technology was at the end of the war,
Yes.
and that was all that innovation and development was driven by the needs of wartime. And when you get to the Second World War,
Wait, let me interrupt. That
It's
was
ama-
the,
like, it's
in the
even
Second World
further.
War. We still had biplanes in the air, in the Army Air Corps, and by the end of it, the Nazis
Yeah.
had a jet. Okay, the
Well,
Nazis
both-
had a
every-
jet
every-
plane
e-
at the end of
everybody had-
the very end of the war.
Yeah, everybody had jet planes at the end of the war. Like
Well,
that was
a few years after, there was an experimental prototype by the end of the war,
Well,
and that's like
that's
4
fine.
years. That's like 4 or 5 years.
no, but
know.
that's it. But yeah, like the planes they had at the start. But even the piston-driven aircraft they had at the start of the war
Yeah.
compared to the ones they had at the end of the war, like the
Yeah.
ones they had at the end of the war were pretty much as far as you could take the technology.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They were all the way to the edge.
How does that tie back into if Edith Keeler lives or dies? Are you saying if her peace movement had succeeded, we would have fallen into a long dark ages of no technological progress?
Well, I'm not sure that. I'm not sure. Well, because I mean, the framing of it is her piece. Well, her dream for the future is the future that Kirk gets, but
Yeah, that's one of the appeals of the story. Is Kirk is from the future she's describing. What she's
But to
describing
get
as
to
a
it-
utopian dream, he's lived, and that's why they're attracted to each other.
no,
They talk the
I
same
get,
language.
no, I totally get that. But to get to where, to get from where they are to where he came from,
Aha.
you probably couldn't have gotten there if you took the diversion that Edith Keeler will take them down with her peace movement. Probably not going to end. I mean, like it's interesting. I mean, it's not really touched on in the story, but they turn up in the past and they steal clothing, and that bum disintegrates himself and whatnot.
One thing that
There's
when
no
that happened,
consequences to that.
When the bum disintegrated himself, I turned to my son Justinian, who was watching the movie with me, and I said, "That is the great grandfather of Ephraim Cochrane, the inventor of hyperdrive." And so they've already screwed everything up. There's no coming back now.